everyone, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I'm your host. I am so thrilled to be here with you today. I found a really fabulous product at the kids show this year, so I wanted to do a video about it. But again, as I always say, it doesn't do any good to compare things in a vacuum, so we're going to do a little comparison video for you. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You can like this video. You can leave comments below if you have questions or comments about what we're talking about. If you're unfamiliar, I have a baby store here in the greater San Francisco Bay Area called Destination Baby. If you like any of the products that you see that are shown in this video today, head on over to my website, destinationbabykids.com. You can check out any colors, any prices, any styles, see what's in stock. I have live inventory on my website. So again, destinationbabykids.com is the best way to support this YouTube channel, or if we're inspiring for you in any way, you could pick out a little gift there. Even if you don't end up buying the full stroller, you could get an accessory, whatever makes you happy. We appreciate all sales and we appreciate every viewer, every view. Okay, that's out of the way. What are we talking about today? So what I have lined up behind me are going to be 5 different options for strollers that are travel strollers. So what I wanted to do was talk about an incredible travel stroller that I found at the show. That's an unbelievable price. I want to kind of compare it to these other guys before I give pricing, so I can get some feedback from you, the viewer at home, at what you think regarding this little new stroller that I found. So let's launch into it. Let's talk about some travel stroller options. Another travel stroller video for my fabulous viewing audience. Okay, so what are the strollers that we are going to be talking about today? So what I have on the end here is the Uppababy MINU version 3. And then this guy right next to it, this is going to be the Peg Perego Volo, fabulous little travel stroller. Then next to Volo, what I'm in front of right now, this blue boy, this is going to be a Bugaboo Butterfly. This green stroller is the new one that I found at the show. So this is called the Mini Flip. And I'm not going to lie when I say I kind of flipped for it, stupid, but it has some really awesome features, and so we're going to go into that, but that is the new one that we haven't reviewed yet. And then this guy on the end, old familiar black option, is going to be the NUNA TRVL. So these are 5 different travel stroller options. They all are slightly different. They all have different pricing, different things about them. But let's launch into some similarities and differences and talk about pricing and all of that kind of stuff for the viewing audience. So out of all these choices, the one that's going to be the most expensive is the NUNA TRVL. That's the black one on the end. The thing that's the most surprising about the TRVL compared to the other guys, or not the most surprising, but it makes sense that it's the most expensive, is the car seat adapter is actually built into this stroller up front. So for $575, I hope that it would work with a car seat. Now, the other thing that's going to separate travel from the rest of the strollers that we're looking at is that it comes with its own travel bag because it is not small enough to go in the overhead compartment of the airplane, okay? So the rest of these 4 strollers that we're going to be looking at, they will fit in the overhead, whereas travel from NUNA, that one will never fit in the overhead no matter what we do, so it comes with its own travel bag. It's the most expensive of the ones that we're looking at. Now, the next most expensive is going to be Uppababy MINU version 3. So this stroller was just introduced this last year. I would say the main drawback that I've heard about this stroller from consumers is that it's expensive. It's $550. You have to buy the front bar and the adapter sold separately here, so there is some hidden cost involved. And then I'm trying to think. This one, when you fold it, it will go in the overhead. This one doesn't come with a car seat adapter included in the purchase price, but what is different about this stroller versus all the other ones that we were looking at is this guy has a deep enough recline for a newborn right out of the box. So if we wanted to lay a baby directly in this travel stroller from birth, we would be able to do that, whereas with all of our other options, they're going to be 3 months plus. So that's just something to keep in mind, which is also indicative of why this guy is a little bit more expensive of a price point. So you're looking at a $549 price point, and this one will go into the overhead compartment. So that's very exciting. Don't worry, we're going to open them all back up. Now, Volo, Butterfly, and Mini Flip are actually probably the most meaningful to compare, which is why I have my two outliers on the end. If we're looking at, and you know what might be useful in this conversation, I'll show you here later if it gets confusing. We can change Mini Flip to black because Mini Flip only comes in two colors, this fabulous green or a really nice black. All these other strollers will have more color options, which is indicative of a higher price point. So if they manufacture something with less options, it's almost always more cost effective for consumers. So we do love that. We're not giving pricing yet. Okay, so Bugaboo Butterfly, which is this guy right here. This is a really nice option. This one will go into the overhead, as you can see. Folds up extremely small, extremely lightweight, and I do have a chart with all the weights and heights and everything, so I'll grab that shortly. I just set it down. But easy to open and close, one-handed to do all of that. So we love the Butterfly, and I do need to see pricing because all of this pricing has changed. Butterfly is going to be $550. So Butterfly is actually the same price as the MINU version 3, but difference with Butterfly, where like MINU would have an advantage, is Butterfly does not give you a newborn recline. So it only gives you like that 3-month or that 6-month plus recline. You do get a very nice big sunshade, but I would point out that when you engage the sunshade in the further over position, you always have a ventilated panel that's like open. Some people prefer that to be covered. So why does this matter? At $550, which is a relatively high price point, it's just something to be aware of. All of these strollers will hold 50-pound children, okay? We're gonna get into the sizing of the physical seats and stuff in a minute, but just so that you're aware, they will all hold 50 pounds. The weights of the strollers are slightly different. So in terms of heft, your NUNA Travel is going to be 15 pounds. Your MINU version 3 is 16.7 pounds, so the heaviest. Butterfly is 16 pounds. Mini Flip is 16 pounds. And Volo is going to be like 12 to 13 pounds. So Volo is so light, it almost feels like, you know, a joke. Not really, but just in general, it's incredibly lightweight. Okay, so let's move Butterfly out of the way, and we'll have Mini Flip kind of right here next to Volo. So both of these are very small, very lightweight. They're both coming in this fabulous green color, which has been very popular for this year. Mini Flip has some things that are different than all the other strollers that we looked at. So one thing that I thought was kind of shocking, let's show the Volo recline. So Volo has a good recline for like 3 to 6 months plus, you know, no car seat adaptability, which is fine. This is a travel stroller. This goes in the overhead bin. This one is also going to come with a backpack when you buy it, which is pretty fabulous. And price point on Volo, how do I fold it? It's up here on the handle. Price point on Volo is super cost effective. You are looking at a $349 price point on this guy. So super small, super lightweight. Definitely will go into the overhead, so we love that. We're just going to show these folds off so you guys at home can see kind of what we're dealing with here. But they all fold extremely small, so great for going in and out of a trunk. But if we were looking for overhead, these 3 in Mini Flip will do overhead, whereas NUNA Travel will not, and neither will Travel LX. That's why they come with their own travel bags. Okay, so Mini Flip. Mini Flip comes with a cup holder. None of the other strollers that I showed you will come with a cup holder. Mini Flip comes with a front bar, okay? The Bugaboo doesn't, the MINU doesn't, Travel does, which is great, but it's a lot more expensive. And Volo comes with a travel bar as well, but something that I noticed about this travel bar, and I just want to kind of show the viewers at home, when this is correctly set up, your travel bar on the Volo always has this movement, which I thought was kind of unusual. You have a fixed bar on the Mini Flip. So if you have a kid that would grab this and like pull it towards themselves, or if this would bother you, it's just something to be aware of that's a little atypical on this model that you don't typically find on most strollers. And again, all of these have the single hand fold to make life really easy, and they all fold up really easy, which is great, but just something to be aware of on that front bar. It's different about this front bar. Another thing you'll notice about this seat, if I turn this sideways, it has one of the most upright backrests of any travel stroller on the market. I've been psychotic about trying to find one that can hit a true 90 degrees. This isn't 90 degrees, but it's pretty dang upright compared to most travel strollers. I'd say it's like within 5 degrees of 90 degrees. So it's very, very upright, and the front bar is included, so you don't have to buy that. Again, your cup holder is also included, which is really fabulous. Now, if we look at the recline of this guy, as I said before, it's about a 3-month plus. But again, if you're using a newborn going traveling, you're probably baby wearing. I would be shocked if someone's putting a super small baby in a stroller for heavy traveling within the first 3 months. So again, after 3 months, they can go directly in here and you can move along with your life. You have a really nice big canopy. And here was a difference with this stroller versus all the other ones that I looked at, which was what I thought was crazy. On the back, when we recline these, the only ones that had any type of ventilation were NUNA and Mini Flip. So Volo doesn't have any ventilation on the backrest. The MINU has no ventilation on the backrest, which was shocking because that's like a brand new design for this year. And they have a mesh ventilated backrest on their Vista, so I'm not really sure why they wouldn't include it on their travel stroller. The other weird thing is they have ventilation on the MINU Duo, so the side-by-side double has this kind of ventilation. So like my nephews were redheads, they were always sweating in these strollers, and you can see the amount of airflow that you would get with this particular guy is the most pretty much on any travel stroller that I sell. So if you want, and again, California, Central Valley gets very hot. If you wanted ventilation, Mini Flip provides a ventilation which is pretty unbelievable compared to some of these other brands that are going to be considerably more expensive. So NUNA's ventilation, as you can see, kind of top to bottom is like my 4 fingers. If I move over here, I can't even fit my hand stretched out to get all the ventilated panel there. So it's just more ventilation. We have no ventilation on Volo, and Volo also has no ventilation on the top of the canopy either. If we move over to MINU, again, this is so whack because on their double, they have a full zipper on each side, but on their single, they don't provide it. Now, granted, on the top of this canopy, and this canopy is extendable, on the top of the canopy, there's a peekaboo ventilation, but I don't know how useful that is for a kid's head that's like way down there. So that's sort of what we're talking about, right? Because yeah, it's great if it's got it on the top, but is it in a meaningful way for the baby? And if we go to Bugaboo, we will see when we recline it, no mesh ventilated panel on the backrest of this seat either. The only mesh you get is on the top, and it's only when the additional panel is open up. So some people find that annoying. It would not bother me, but just something to be aware of. So we have shown all of these bad boys folding and unfolding for the most part. I will show Mini Flip. I'm gonna try and get this Bugaboo as upright as I can. But this is where I was talking about, like, the seat is still somewhat reclined, right? It's not that perfect 90-degree upright that some parents are looking for. So that's why I was on a quest for a travel stroller that offered the more upright, because I do have some customers that really fixate on that. You know, I get it. It wouldn't be the most important thing to me, but that doesn't mean it doesn't matter to you, the viewing audience. So again, Mini Flip has the ventilation on the back. Mini Flip also has a ventilated panel on the top of the stroller as well. So you get a full ventilated panel on the top of the stroller as well as on the back of the stroller. So this was pretty exciting for me. I thought that was very cool. You know, no pun intended. It's hot right now. I need the AC on. But just a really nice feature that you would get on Mini Flip that you're not getting on any of the other strollers that we're looking at. Now, I have not folded this one yet, so let's fold it up for the viewing audience right now. Just to show you guys too, this foot plate is fully adjustable. It's also enormous, so it gives a lot of stability and support, whereas some of them, like NUNA's, like this is very flimsy for nearly $600. That level of support, it's okay. It's much stiffer here. So you get a higher level of support with this guy, which is kind of funny because it's significantly less expensive. So I'll go ahead and adjust that down. It doesn't need to be adjusted down, but just to show you guys. And then it is a single hand fold to go into the overhead. The only trick with this, and this is like true with Bugaboo too, you're gonna want to, because if you fold Bugaboo and the foot plate is extended, you have to fold it down, meaning if this guy is set up like this and we fold this stroller, that won't go into the overhead upright, so you have to tip it down. And it's the same story there with that front bar. You just have to remove it before you put it in the overhead, but they are absolutely both able to be stored in the overhead compartment. So overhead, doable, 3-month plus. So very similar in terms of what those can do. Your opening here, there's a little latch on the side. You don't have to press any of the top buttons. It is a one-handed open, which is great. And then you'll go ahead and you can click that bar directly back on, or you can leave it off if you want. But again, it's included in the purchase price. So we keep coming back to purchase price, right? We'll get to it at the end. Color choices for Mini Flip, as I pointed out, are the green or the black. All the other strollers that you're looking at here will have more color options available, but they're all more expensive. So they should have more choices, right? It shouldn't just be 2. But for the price of Mini Flip, I'm happy to live with the 2 color choices. The green has been very well received, and then they do a black, and I'll show you the black at the end of the video here. All right, so let's talk about some of the actual figures and facts as far as sizing is concerned. So the backrest, your MINU and your Butterfly have the tallest backrest. So MINU and Butterfly have a backrest of 21.5 for Butterfly, 21 for MINU. The next tallest is Mini Flip. So Mini Flip has a backrest that is 18.5 inches tall. So if you've got a taller kid, this backrest will give you more support than Volo. Volo is a 16-inch backrest, and Travel LX, they're both also a 16-inch backrest. So that's a little bit shorter of a backrest than 18.5 or the 21 that we get with the other guys. The depths of the seat. So the MINU's 8 inches, the Travel is going to be 9.5, so it's quite deep. Butterfly is also 9.5, Volo is 9, and Mini Flip is going to be 8. So they're all relatively similar in terms of seat depth. Some are slightly deeper than others. Now that being said, if we kick out the foot extensions on these, that changes that depth as well. So with the foot extension, the MINU is 13.5, Volo's 12, Butterfly's 16, Travel, excuse me, I meant to go over here when I said MINU, is 13.5. Travel is 14, and Mini Flip is 14.5. So as far as that little plate that I was talking about that provides support, that piece is actually giving quite a bit of depth. So if you've got a kiddo that likes to have their feet up, their feet don't go all the way down to the heel stirrup on the lower portion of the seat, you do get a ton of support with this guy, which is awesome. The only one that's longer than that, 14.5, is going to be Butterfly at 16. So Butterfly's foot extension when this piece comes out is 16, Mini Flip is 14.5, and then your Travel is 14, your Volo is 12, and your MINU is 13.5. So Mini Flip is keep clocking in with the taller backrest, the deeper seat dimensions, so that's very nice. They're all 13 inches wide in the seat, which is really great. And again, the weights, the MINU 16.7, Volo is 12, Butterfly is 16, Mini Flip is 16, and the Travel is 15. So they're all within a similar weight. Okay, so Mini Flip comes with a cup holder. Mini Flip has a tall backrest. Mini Flip has the ventilated backrest. Mini Flip has the ventilated top piece. Mini Flip has the front bar included. Mini Flip is able to go into the overhead. Mini Flip only comes in 2 colors, black or green. Trying to think of anything else special. 3-month plus recline on Mini Flip and price point. Okay, price point on Mini Flip, $249. So Volo's $349. Uppa is going to be $549, Bugaboo's $549, Travel is $575. Mini Flip is clocking in at basically half the price of most of everything else that we carry. The quality is excellent on the stroller. It's going to have a flip-flop friendly brake. The textiles are actually beautiful. Like the type of materials that they use and the texture and the way that it feels is shocking. You would not anticipate this level of quality on a stroller that's so reasonably priced. I'm gonna pull up the black one just to show everybody at home. Black is definitely more sporty, but very beautiful. So these would be your two color options, and either one would be the $249. It would include the cup holder. I'm only showing it on the green right now, but they do include it in the purchase price. So again, if you are looking for a supplemental stroller option that can go in the overhead for travel, and maybe you already have a $12 or $13, $14, $1,500 stroller system already, and you're like, hey, I just need a supplemental to live, and I don't want to spend $1 million, but I also would appreciate it if it didn't look disgusting and look like some nightmare that was picked up at Walmart. We've got some great choices for you. So Mini Flip, overarching brand for Mini Flip is Cangaroo, but bought a bunch of these at the show. We're super excited. You can buy either of these on my website, destinationbabykids.com. Mini Flip, $249, 16 pounds, overhead, front bar, cup holder, ventilated backrest, ventilated top, beautiful materials, easy to use. Everything about it's pretty fabulous. So we're very excited for this guy moving into 2025. And if questions come up about the stroller at all, feel free to leave them in the comments below. But hopefully we've covered everything to be somewhat useful for you, to give you a sense of some new choices available in awesome price points moving into 2025.